Viviane Obenauf stops Natasha Jonas in the fourth round of a fairly one-sided fight. Where do I even start with this? So, I've watched a couple of Natasha Jonas's fights, and what strikes me about Natasha Jonas is she does seem to have some decent snap in her punches. Seems to have fairly decent punch power, to be fair. People compare her to Katie Taylor a lot because they fought in the Olympics for us, I believe, and they've kind of been on a collision course since. I would say she's probably the more natural puncher between Katie Taylor and her. Katie Taylor really doesn't strike me as a very hard puncher. She throws more quality as opposed to quantity. But one thing about Katie Taylor is she has a decent defense. And that's my biggest criticism of Natasha Jonas. She has a terrible, terrible defense. I mean, Joe Gallagher trains that's who she's trained by the way. Joe Gallagher trains his guys to kind of keep the guard up high and let the opponent punch himself out on you. Well, Natasha Jonas doesn't do that. She just blocks punches with her face. She's very, very poor defense. And in this fight, she was fighting Viviane Obenauf, might be butchering the name, so sorry about that, who fought Katie Taylor in Katie Taylor's second pro fight, was down in that fight and lost every round convincingly. And straight away, looking at the first round, I knew that this was going to be a tough fight for Natasha Jonas because Viviane was swinging shots, she was loading up, and she was just swinging all over the place. But she was connecting, which is what I couldn't get over because the shots were just so awkward. Natasha Jonas just was walking straight into them, and she was walking into a lot of shots while trying to throw her own shots, so she was doubling up the effect on it. And Viviane Obenauf took the first two rounds, I would say, fairly comfortably, and in the third round she landed a terrific, I think she was a southpaw, I think it was with the left hand, but it was a terrific left hand. It dropped Natasha Jonas heavily. Now the referee, he was well in his right to stop the fight then and there. It was near the end of the third round, but she was gone. She tried to get up, I think, originally too quick and went back down. Didn't fall down, but she kind of went back down to the kneeing position and got back up again. She was completely out of it. I think she was down again as the round ended, so the referee, he heard the bell rang while he was giving her the count, so he let the fight carry on. She came back down in the fourth round, didn't really change anything. She dropped again by another big shot, and I think it was towards the end of the round, she was on the ropes, she was taking some shots. She was throwing back, she threw back near the end, but by then Joe Gallagher already thrown in the towel and stopped the fight. So that's a big upset. Big upset by any her card standards. I mean, the card was pretty rubbish. I'm not going to cover most of the fights on it because they were all fairly one-sided. But yeah, that was definitely against the run of play. And Sky were discussing, Natasha Jonas having a world title fight and then fighting Katie Taylor. She should thank her lucky stars she wasn't in there with Katie Taylor, because that really could have been a car crash. I know Katie Taylor isn't the biggest puncher in the world, but damn, I mean, she made Viviane Obenauf look like George Foreman in there, with Natasha Jonas, and she took a beating. I know she didn't get hit that much for the first two rounds. She took a few shots, but not that much. But she was getting beaten by the end of that fight. I mean, thoroughly. So yeah, I really don't know where she's going to go from here. I'd maybe go for the Katie Taylor fight and just, get a payday out of it. But if I was Natasha Jonas, boy, I'd be looking at maybe, I was going to say change trainer, but maybe she just doesn't have it. But I'd definitely be changing trainers. I'd try and sharpen her defense because she's got decent punching power there, but her defense is just shocking, and that's going to come back to bite her. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that fight. Thanks all for watching. I'm out.